Welcome. Today we are going to discuss the concept of authority. We will discuss the meaning and nature of authority and the major types of authority. First, we will discuss the meaning of authority. The general meaning of authority is the power or right to give orders and make others obey, which means that the term authority, the concept of authority, is closely related to the concept of power. Authority lies in the hands of person or persons or group of persons having power to command and give orders and make others obey. Authority means the institutionalized exercise of legitimate power. Thus, authority refers to power that has been institutionalized and is recognized by the people over whom it is exercised. To say in other words, authority is always legitimate and backed by law and common consent. Now we will discuss the nature of authority. The very first thing is that on the basis of meaning of authority, it is very much clear that power, when is backed by legitimacy, it gets converted into authority. That means when power is backed by law, when power is recognized by the constitution, when power is it gets the consent of people, it gets converted into an authority. In a state, when people give authority to a person or an institution, they obey the rules and commands of that person or the institution willingly, because they know that the person who is issuing the command, the institution through which the commands are given, those are backed by the law. Those having consent of the people, they are in the authority to give the command, and it is the duty of the people to obey them. It is an interesting feature of authority that people follow the commands of the person or the institution having the authority without the threat of force. In case of power, the power holder has to apply force to make the people obey his commands. But contrary to it, when a particular person is having the authority, then that person need not have to apply force to make the people to obey his commands. The people are ready to follow his commands. The people are ready to accept his orders and do what he wishes as per his will, because they know that a person is having authority, that the person is issuing the commands or is giving the order because he is having full legitimate power to do so. It is also noteworthy that people accept and follow the orders given by the individuals in authority, as they know and they accept that that person has the right to give orders, to give commands and make them do certain things under certain situations, which means that authority is not unlimited. It is limited. It is always specific. And authority is general when it extends to all the acts or all connected with a particular employment. And it is spatial when confined to a single act. So it is within the limit that the person having the authority exercises his authority. And so people also willingly obey him or her orders because they know that within the limitations prescribed by the law, that person is enjoying the authority and giving the commands. We can differentiate the concept of power and authority on the basis of following major points. The first is that power is the ability or capability of a person, of an individual, to make the other people do which they otherwise do not do, or to influence others and control their actions. On the other hand, authority is very formal right. It is a legal right which is granted to the person to issue orders and commands, as well as to take decisions from time to time. So it is very much specific. On the contrary, power is vague. It is capability or ability of a person. That's why while discussing the second point, we find that power is a personal trait. It is a personal capability, acquired ability of a person, whereas authority is formal right. So it is vested in the hands of high officials, or it is in the hands of a particular person in a position, or it is with a post. So a person who acquires that post automatically gets the authority, the formal powers to issue commands. The another major difference is that the source of power is knowledge and expertise. These are the major sources of power. While on the other hand, the position or the post or the office determines the authority of a person. A person who acquires that post, a person who is on that position, automatically becomes powerful enough, gets the authority enough to give commands, to issue orders for others. Next is that power flows in any direction. It can be upward, downward, diagonal or lateral. Contrary to that, authority always flows in one direction only, and that is downward. That is, the superior issues the order and the subordinates have to follow them. That's why authority always flow in one direction only, and that is downward, from superior to the subordinates. The other difference which we find is that the power lies in person. That means it is a personal trait or personal quality. In essence, a person acquires it, but the authority lies with the designation or the post or the position. Whoever gets that designation gets the authority attached to it. And lastly, authority is always legitimate, while power is not legitimate. Now let us discuss the types of authority. There are three types of authority which are prescribed by Max Weber. The first is traditional authority, the second is charismatic authority, and the third is legal rational authority. The first, traditional authority. In case of traditional authority, or in this type of authority, the person derives his authority from customs, traditions, or accepted practices of a society. For example, in a patriarchal societies, the authority of husbands over wives, or of father over his children, or the authority which is enjoyed by the king or queen, it is accepted as the people respect the tradition, the custom, the accepted practices. The virtue of inheriting the crown is the major reason why people obey the commands of the king. Or the another example is of the authority of tribal leaders. In many of the tribes, the tribal leader, his commands are obeyed. He is respected because the people of that tribe give authenticity to the traditional practices. Thus, those who enjoy such kind of authority, which has its source in the custom or traditions or accepted practices in the society, it is called as traditional authority. The next type of authority is charismatic authority. When the people submit themselves to be ruled by a man or a person mainly on their belief in the extraordinary qualities of such a ruler, that rule over them is referred to as charismatic authority. It rests on the devotion to the specific and exceptional sanctity, heroism, or exemplary character of that individual person. To take the example of Mahatma Gandhi, the example of authority enjoyed by Martin Luther King or Hitler or Pandit Nehru, all these are the examples of charismatic leaders. So charismatic authority is thus a kind of authority where the power is legitimate by the exceptional personal characteristics of the leader, such as heroism, mysticism, or magic. This is the third and the last type of authority which is prescribed by Max Weber. According to him, legal rational authority is an authority where the legitimacy of the power holder to issue commands rests upon rules that are rationally established by enactment, by agreement, or by imposition, or through constitution. Thus, power made legitimate by laws, written rules, and regulations is termed as rational legal authority. This form of authority is basically given to a particular post. The person who comes to that or acquires that post automatically gets the authority which is recognized by law, that is, it is legal and it is rational also. This form of authority is enjoyed by the legislature, executive, judiciary, the members of these three organs of the government, or other formal organizations. So it is a very formal kind of authority. Its significance is that this kind of authority is a permanent kind of authority or type of authority as compared to the other two kinds of authority. In case of traditional authority, as the time changes, the customs, the importance of tradition may get lesser, and that's why the people may change their faith and may not obey the rules only on the basis of tradition or respect to tradition. Secondly, as far as charismatic authority is concerned, it depends upon the qualities of a person. Till the time that person has those charismatic traits or features, he enjoys that authority. Compared to these two, this third kind of authority, which is legal rational authority, is a kind of permanent authority because it is not given to any person, but it is given or it is enjoyed by the post. And so the person who acquires that post, that position, automatically gets legal rational authority. His commands, his rules, his wishes are followed by the people because they know that the authority of that person is recognized by the law.